Okay, there we go. Hello once again, everybody. How are you doing? Good to be with you. So, just killing some time with the Salt Suit Lanos until suzerain time.
正体不明の熱源が多数降下してきます。
若葉戦機基地へ避難しろ。アサルトスーツ隊は装備を急げ。
了解。
どうかご無事で。
ありがとう。
敵をこれ以上進ませるな。
Get out of my airspace. Whoops. Got one-shotted there. Sure, I guess. Ow. Recharge the shields. Ow. What's up? This is Nozaku, that's what's up. Ah, shit.
D ラインを突破しました。基地まであと56マイル。
敵艦を基地に近づけるな。絶対にここで食い止めるんだ。
Intercepting, sir. Can I get some backup or something? I don't know. I'm just asking. Damn it. Get back, get back, get back, get back, get back, get back!
基地まであと56マイル。
敵艦を基地に近づけるな。絶対にここで食い止めるんだ。
Gosh, you motherfucker! This is no Zaku! No Zaku!
敵部隊突撃艦を失い後退していきます。
This is Assault Suit Lanos.
前期基地へ戻るぞ。
Yeah, I sucked. Using continuous, does using continuous impact the score? Probably does. Superhuman pilot. Yeah, I guess. Although the enemy's first attack had been quelled, the 1st Charge Brigade report that Ganymede base is still surrounded by enemies on all sides. With fleet communication re-established, we've learned that it isn't just Jupiter that is under attack. Other planets in the solar system have been bombarded in a coordinated assault, with devastating results. The 2nd Mechanized Fleet is hurrying to confirm these reports. Despite our best efforts, both the fleet and the base have been sustained great damage from the enemy forces. It is unlikely that we'll be able to endure another full frontal attack as furious as the last one. There is no other choice. Division HQ has ordered all forces to draw back from Jupiter space. On the moon's surface at Ganymede base, all personnel have been ordered to evacuate immediately, and the 1st Charge Brigade have been sent to escort all remaining civilians to the shuttles. We must guide the shuttle and support ships from the base that dock so many kilometers away and protect the civilians on board at all costs. Should any enemies block our path, they should be destroyed with extreme force. Currently, it is unknown just how many people are left alive, or if an evacuation will even succeed. However, we have no time left. The base is lost, and X hour is approaching.
我がガニメデ基地は現在正体不明の敵に包囲されている。このままでは全滅を待つだけだ。そこで我々はこの基地から脱出し、木星中域に残存する味方艦隊と共に地球へ帰還する。脱出の際、味方艦隊から可能な限りの支援があるはずだ。
あと6時間以内に宇宙港に着かなければ第3機動艦隊に合流できません。そのためにはこの包囲網を突破しないと。
避けて移動することはできんということだな。
装備はこれだけしか残っていません。
俺は艦隊誘導用のビーコンを設置する。そのためにはなるべく秘密裏に行動する必要がある。派手な重装備は使わない方がいいだろう。
そんな少佐危険です。
我々の任務はシャトル降下地点までの突破口を開くことだ。輸送隊の護衛は任せたぞ。
分かった。合流地点の周囲には敵の偵察機がうろついているはずだ。できるだけ発見されないように行動しろ。
了解。行くぞゾゾリ。
後で会おう。
またシャトルで会いましょう。
アサルトスーツ隊は作業員をガードしながらシャトルの降下地点に向かえ。
こちらバーサット、これより上空援護を行う。
艦隊から突撃艦の支援機が来ます。突撃艦の援護は AS2 を中心に展開してください。
了解した。任せておけ。
You want covering fire? You got it.
こいつのどこが偵察機なんだよ。
どうしました？
リッキー、やたら動きのいい奴がいるぞ。
少佐大丈夫ですか？
突破された。
こっちでフォローする。輸送隊を一旦交代させてくれ。
I'll take care of it. Send the transport to the rear. Nope. Don't. Nope. 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 No. Don't kill me.
AS が撤退します。作戦エリアを超えています。輸送隊と合流してください。
Yes. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I went aggressive and tried to save them. At least we're all alive, right?
輸送隊との通信を再接続しました。輸送隊を護衛してください。
Let's go. Keep moving. Let's go.
合流地点に到達したぞ。
We've reached his rally
お
point.
疲れ様です。後続の輸送隊も間もなく到着の予定です。待って、後方に高熱現在が急速接近中。機動兵器です。
何？
What?
エース隊至急迎撃に当たってください。
俺も合流する。
無理です。あなたの機体は損傷が激しいわ。
大丈夫。心配してもらうほどじゃないさ。
ダメだ。損傷の激しい機体は交代せよ。
Ah! Ow, 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 ow.
The 敵の機動兵器が合流地点に侵入。危険です。第二輸送隊が安全圏に離脱しました。
I'm working on it, please. Thank you.
早く乗れ。収容が終わり次第離陸する。
Where are you going? The hell? Alright, hang on 1 second. I need to figure out the fuck I did. Okay, I think I got it. I think.
第二輸送隊が安全圏に離脱しました。
早く乗れ。修行が終わり次第離陸する。
Got him. We're out of here.
機動兵器を破壊した。
His soul suits have been destroyed.
まもなく発進しますので、
I'm
本体
doing
と合
good
流し
though.
てくださ
I'm
い。
doing good. Despite getting fired yesterday. I'm doing good.
早くしろ。置いていくぞ。
屈辱の撤退から3ヶ月。ついに反撃の時が来た。
Does it really take 3 months to get back from
作戦行動に
Jupiter?
入る。
12時の方向に艦影を発見。敵です。
大気圏突入まであと300秒。今準備できているのはこれだけです。グッドラック。
突入時間までシャトルを守れるか。
大気圏突入までの時間を送ります。タイムアウトすると収容できません。注意してください。
Get back here, you son of a bitch!
「敵の14艦が作戦エリア内に到達。正面です。
Where the fuck do you think you're going?
突入まであと120秒です。
back here. I'm not done with you.
あと60秒。前期帰還してください。
エース3、作戦範囲を超えています。できるだけバーシスに接近してください。
いや、まだだ。こいつらを落とす。
Don't be an idiot.
収容できません。帰還してください。
どうした A3？
バーギアに派手な一発を食らっちまった。くそ、バーギアの出力が上がらない。
今行く。おとなしく待ってろゾウザリ。
無理です少佐、もう間に合いません。
ハッチを閉鎖する。
Oh shit.
まだ部下がゾウザリが外にいるんだ。
Those are still out there.
無理だ。これ以上開けていたらこの艦が持たない。
助けてくれ。スーツが燃えちまう。
Zozalie! Of course I'd S rank that one. Also, hello Baron. Hello. In the battle high in the atmosphere above Southeast Asia, we have suffered heavy losses. In total, nearly half of our forces have been destroyed. However, the mission to retake the region cannot be stopped now. The plan of operations will be executed as follows. Phase 1. The Vanguard, led by the AS, will make an assault landing, wipe out the anti-air defenses, and secure a landing zone for the shuttles. Phase 2. Shuttles will land in the secured LZ, and the main force will disembark. The Engineer Corps will then deploy as the AS squad searches for a way into the enemy forward base. Phase 3. Engineer Corps will blow up any weakness found in the Vanguard, allowing them to move forward into the base and destroy the reactor within. Phase 4. After joining up with the ground forces, relieve them. The ground forces will then take over the base and the fleet will withdraw. Be careful. It looks like hell down there.
Focus point に到着しました。エース隊、出撃準備をしてください。
アサルト卒祭降下準備。
地上へ降下後、敵基地を目指してください。降下中の対空砲は無視して構いません。少佐、元気を出して。ゾーザリーのことは
分かってるさ。奴のためにもこの争い早く終わらせないとな。
2整備完了しました。
なあ、ありがとう。
生きて帰ってきて。
アサルトスーツ隊
Ah,
前期
she's
出撃
cute. I'll come back alive.
アサルトスーツ隊は前期降下開始。着地後速やかに敵の基地へ向かえ。
Express elevator straight into hell.
前方に機動兵器出現。対空砲も起動したぞ。
こっちのルートはおとりなのか。
Wait,
艦長、
this is
敵
all
の
a
攻撃
trap?
です。囲まれています。
AS 隊は何をしている。すぐに呼び戻せ。
ダメです。少佐たちは機動兵器と交戦中です。
艦長、アサルトスーツの格納庫が被弾しました。
くそ。AS 隊はまだなのか。
はい、まだ機動兵器の追撃を受けているようです。
Working on it, sir.
重力制御装置の被弾、高度下がります。
サブエンジン全開でフォローしろ。急げ。
Get back here, you son of a bitch.
動力部付近に火災が発生。落ちます。
前方に機動兵器出現。対空砲も起動したぞ。
何。こっちのルートはおとりなのか。
艦長、敵の砲撃です。囲まれています。
AS 隊は何をしている。すぐに呼び戻せ。
ダメです。少佐たちは機動兵器と交戦中です。
艦長、アサルトスーツの格納庫が被弾しました。
くそ。AS 隊はまだなのか。
はい、まだ機動兵器の追撃を受けているようです。
バーシスよりエース各機へ対空砲の全滅を確認しました。
よし、あとは機動兵器を片付けるんだ。
Get down here, you annoying piece of shit. Get back here, you fucker. Fuck you then. Psych! Get jebaited, son. The assault units are destroyed.
作戦をフェーズ3に移行します。
入り口を爆破する。離れていろ。
前期突入せよ。
敵がどこにもいない。
妙だな。本当にここが戦略拠点なのか。防衛システムばかりじゃないか。
そうですね。周囲に動く熱源は確認できません。
とにかくもう少し探索してみよう。戦略拠点にしては敵が少なすぎる。こちら A3 だ。主なコントロールルームは破壊した。
了解。敵の奇襲に気をつけてください。エース2、あとはあなただけよ。
了解。こちらも
Copy.
2層目の各駅まで侵入。
I made it
それらしい証
past 2
明は
block doors. Just singing insane.
どうかしましたか？
進行方向にエネルギー反応あり。かなりでかい。
こちらでも捉えました。嫌な予感がします。
誰か落としてくれ。
誰だ？
第3次に特殊任務班の常時注意だ。敵は動力炉をオーバードライブさせて周囲一帯を焼き払うつもりだ。増援を頼む。
どうした？応答しろ。常時注意。こちら ASB だ。動力炉はどこだ？
あなたの真下にあります。危険です。撤退してください。
もう誰も死ぬところを見たくないんだな。
あった。あれだ。
最下層は底なしです。気をつけてください。
Ow.
臨界点突破までおよそ60秒。いつ爆発してもおかしくありません。
Ow, 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 ow. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Or not. Just fucking zero boost out of there. Alright, whatever.
Linkai 臨界点突破までおよそ60秒。いつ爆発してもおかしくありません。臨界点突破までおよそ30秒。前期撤退してください。
Working on it. I'll take it. A rank. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna wrap this stream, and then we're gonna finish Suzerain. As always, thank you everyone. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we'll make it a separate stream, just for bookending. I'll see you soon. Thank you everyone. All of the people watching VODs later, people showing up to the lives, etc., etc. This has been Assault Suit Lanos, in case, for whatever reason, you were unaware of what the game was. Yeah. I'll see y'all out there and take her easy. Whatever you do.
そろそろ時間ね。パトロール交代よ。
Alrighty then. So, I thought I ended the stream, but apparently I didn't. So I guess here we are. Born to be kings, we're the princes of the universe. FC Enrica fans, where are you at? Alright, so, the finale of Suzerain. Probably, maybe, who knows, we'll see. Also, good to see you, Shin, my man. Been putting in a lot of work lately. Alright, we'll give a... like this, you will be caught doing something improper, bro. That's my secret, Captain. I'm always doing something improper. Well, I gotta show some work for sure. How you doing? I'm surviving. Life is a struggle, but when is it not? Alrighty, so let's get into it. Let's end the game. Let's do it. I was going easy on you because it's a public space. Life is annoying indeed. Life is suffering. Curiute Constantium. I, David Weesey, and the rest of the Sorge delegation to the Alliance of Nations arrived in Curiute. The local police escorted us to the Alliance's headquarters in downtown Constantium, immediately recognizable by its gleaming dome. On entering the building, we were met by a parliamentary guide who briefed us about the procedures. After a strict security screening, staff ushered us to the third floor. We entered the massive circular assembly hall and took our designated seats. David sat next to me. All of the world's most powerful people under one gleaming dome. One wrong word and the world will go to hell. I'm glad to be among them. It's amazing how someone has managed to fill a room with people that absolutely loathe each other. High pressure, I know. Just believe in yourself, Anton. From what I have seen, you will do just fine. How are you feeling, Anton? Ever since what happened in Peter, I'm amazed you've been holding up so well. I remember how inseparable the two of you were in university. We knew changing Swordland would be hard, but we could never expect it to be this way. I managed somehow. He's been more of a friend to me than I could have ever been to him. Wish I had done more to help him. He was a true friend. I hope that he's in a better place now. It is tough to be the president. Making harsh decisions and dealing with their consequences. I wish I could have supported you more, but time has been a cruel mistress. What you've done so far is more than enough. Don't treat yourself so harshly. For what it's worth, I appreciate all the advice you've given me. Don't worry about it. Your advice wasn't that good anyway. Damn, really? From a distance, we could see the President of the General Assembly, Mr. Nines, approaching his designated position. Well, the session is about to start. Let's get comfortable. It's going to be a long day. Mr. Nines opened the session with a short speech and called the first speaker to the floor. It is my great pleasure to invite the Prime Minister of Lesbia to address the Assembly. Patricio Alvarez stood and walked to the podium as the Assembly applauded. Mr. President, it is my pleasure to return to this podium. David leaned in and spoke in a low voice. Let's see how crazy this year's session will get. Let's see. I'm surprised he isn't drunk. Ignore David and listen to Alvarez's speech. When I last spoke here, the message I gave was of encouragement and support to this organization and the vital role it plays. All the challenges that Eastern Marcopa and the whole world has faced since then, one has grown larger and more imminent than any other. The threat of the so-called socialist states and the actions taken by their authoritarian rulers with no regard to international law. Loud noise came from the table in Valgsland. I saw Emmerich Hegel pounding his fists on the table in protest. Look at that guy. He's an embarrassment. Looks like the Chancellor is already mad. I kept watching. Today, the need to come together as leaders of the free world is more important than ever. The CSP, under the leadership of United Cortana, has been fueling Valgsland's military-industrial complex and its expansionist aims in eastern Marcopa. The world turned a blind eye when the armies of Valgsland occupied Helgeland, and they did not stop there. According to our intelligence reports, United Cortana made nuclear missiles were quickly deployed to the island. He pulled out a photograph. Even though it was hard to see from my position, I recognized it as an aerial image of Helgeland. We demand that the Chancellor speak the truth. As you can all see, we have evidence of the construction of silos. Oh shit. This is the missile crisis, isn't it? Do you think that's true? Shit. This is huge. Bollocks. Keep listening. I kept listening. No Eastern Mercopan nation can accept the installation of weapons of mass destruction in the middle of our Marquian Sea. Emmerich Hagel stood up and kept pounding his fists. We hereby call for the immediate dismantling and withdrawal of all missiles and other offensive weapons from Heligoland. We invite all the member states to support our call for a resolution in accordance with Article 2 of 11 of the Valenco Treaty. A lot of noise came from the assembly hall in response. Most of the Western Mercopan delegates were clapping, while others either shouted in protest or sat in stony silence. Let us also not forget about the recent events that transpired in another state with socialist teachings, a state that wages war against its own innocent citizens. Wayland. Oh dear. That's a bunch of horse shit! Wayland is not even socialist! Right. Innocent citizens. He's forgetting the violence of the BFF. He has a point. David nodded intently. Their purge of the minorities in their country was, again, largely ignored by the international community. I would go so far as to call it a genocide. Wayland violated our past treaties and mobilized their armed forces, deploying them to close our borders and authorizing them to partake in massacres. Lesbia was affected not only by a large wave of refugees coming from Wayland, but by the subsequent government seizure of all our companies that were active in the country. We hereby call the member states to action against Wayland and its rogue government. Thank you. I did not react to his speech. He walked back to his seat amidst enthusiastic applause from most of the Mercopan delegates. President Nines waited for the noise to calm down and invited the next speaker, the president of Wayland, Victor Smolak. Smolak stood up. As he walked past Patricio Alvarez, he brushed him aside with an exaggerated sweep of his arms. When he reached the podium, he fumbled with the microphone for a few seconds. Then, he smiled at Alvarez mockingly as he raised the height of it. Look at the theatrics. Victor's a funny guy. I think the real chaos will start now. Stay silent and wait for Smolak to start speaking. The funny guy. Baird, where you at? He's a funny guy for you. I watched Smolak and waited for him to speak. Victor turned to President Nines and bowed slightly. Mr. President! He then turned back to us and stared into the hall for a few seconds. Fellow delegates, it is true that the world today faces a multitude of challenges. In the midst of these challenges, the world's most powerful leaders gather here in Groot. And what do? They make threats, promote hate, and spread lies. Is this the alliance of nations we all want? Where is the cooperation and friendship? Where is the unity? I want to remind you of the wars that the West fought on our soil, on the foreign troops who occupied our country and seized our valuable resources. I want to remind you how they stole the oil from our sacred soil, and they did not know when to stop. The 80-year-old soldiers left, but their interference never ceased. They financed armed rebel groups whose only purpose is to create terror inside our country. So, fellow delegates, don't you dare speak about Wayland before you acknowledge your involvement in our civil war, before you acknowledge your own dark past. He's not entirely wrong. That's an empty argument. It doesn't justify what Wayland did. It's true that the Western powers had their hands in the Wayland Civil War, but it doesn't justify the operation. Sorry, you already know my take on dealing with him. As it is well known, after the tremendous tragedy of the Wayland Civil War, Acacia made a deal with United Cortana where they agreed upon the withdrawal of their troops, along with the removal of half our army. Not only did they weaken us, we were left alone in facing the genocidal Bludish Freedom Front, which the ATO funds together with Rumburg. Just like the delegate before me, I will show you some of the evidence of foreign influence. He picked up a large stack of papers and waved them back and forth. I have clear evidence of direct aid from Rumburg to the Bludish Freedom Front. They smuggled tons of KA-74s in the Wayland. They smuggled in their spies, smuggled in mercenary commanders. He's finally talking about it. We're not the only ones now. I should say something. Let Smolak know I'm on his side. He's got balls, taking on Rumburg in the West like that. keep listening. These documents will be published everywhere. Copies have already been sent to the investigative affairs in the Alliance of Nations. I expect this organization to do its task and investigate this properly, instead of leaving Waylon behind, as they have always done. Coming back to the claims of the lesbian representative. First, there is no evidence of civilian massacres by the Wesek forces, nor so-called purges of minorities. Second, the operation was limited only to the militant BFF, not the Bloods in general. Third, we know your government is also implicated in the funding of the BFF, and that your oil companies aided their militants during the operation. Fourth, as the state, we only look what was ours. The companies the delegates spoke of were not only aiding militants, they were brought to Waylon by force. Know that the Waylon will no longer recognize the right of any other country to determine what type of weapons we are permitted to possess, or what type of policies we follow within our borders. Waylon stands stronger and more united than ever. Our people have spoken. The enemies inside our borders are crushed. Now, I ask every delegate here to read our report on the connections of the West with the armed militants in Eastern Makopa, and I ask the Alliance of Nations to do what's right. Waylon only wants peace. Our people want peace. They are counting on the support and understanding of all the nations of the world. Their proclamation is Free Waylon or death. The assembly roared, with particularly loud applause coming from the seats of Rickian nations. Damn, that was a strong speech. He seems to be popular with Rickia, doesn't he? Stand up and applaud his speech. Don't react. It will certainly be remembered. Victor slowly walked back to his seat as he applauded himself. He saluted the Rickian delegates as he passed them. Next, President Nines invited Martin von Hurten to the podium. He walked up to the microphone with quick steps. He was frowning and clenching his fists. You could almost see his jaw trembling. Seems like Martin is not in a good mood. He looks pissed. Uh-oh. It's Helligilun time. Stay silent and wait for Van Horten to start speaking. Baron, hello. You just missed the funny man. Mr. President, fellow delegates of the Assembly, and friends, it is an honor to be with you today. I wish we could meet under different circumstances. Once again, the CSP nations, and in particular Valexland, have shown us what they're willing to do to achieve their political aims. Oh yeah, you're on the other side of the world. I mean, what is the physical difference between the west coast of the United States and Germany? It's a miracle that we're even able to communicate as quickly as we are. We live in a world of magic. Oh yeah, that too. I must sadly say the world has left us alone. We were one of the first countries to propose proper cooperation among Eastern Macopan nations. Yet, when we were threatened by a Valexlandian expansionism, nobody came to our side. Although Mr. Alvarez voiced his indirect support for us earlier in today's session, I can't keep myself from wondering where he was when our lands were under the invasion by the very socialists he spoke about. So here I am, asking for the support of the fellow member states of the Alliance of Nations. Magnolia is under attack by Valexland. A loud banging noise emerged from the tables of Valexlandian. Whoop. Hang on a second. All of them were pounding their fists on the table. Order! Order! Those delegates need to learn some respect. Keep watching. What? Order! 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 Order in the chat. Am I playing a judge? No. Those delegates need to learn some respect. Keep watching. Oh, Baron? Shin, Baron. I kept watching. Mr. President, please moderate the assembly. This is more than disrespectful. Emmerich Hegel began shouting curses as his nines repeatedly banged his gavel for order. Order! Order! After a minute of back and forth shouting and the noise settled, and nines allowed Martin to continue. As you all know, Helm's Land, which had been a territory of Agnolia for more than 3 decades, was invaded by Val's Land in a sudden attack. Not only did they unlawfully occupy our land, they brought nuclear missiles to the island the moment our forces retreated. Manifest terror surrounds us on all sides. We must not falter. I invite all member states to find a resolution in accordance with Article 11 of the Tvalenko Treaty, enforcing the immediate dismantling of all missiles from Helligeland. I must also remind you that under Article 3 of the Ventry City Treaty, the Alliance of Nations must ensure the withdrawal of the occupying force from the island. I call the democratic world to action against the tyranny of Malinivanism, authoritarianism, militarism, and extremism. The banging noise started again. Hegel stood up and approached the rostrum. "You're a spineless jerk, a lackey of Arcasian imperialism." President Nines called for silence and started hitting the gavel. Order! Look at the old man go. What does he think he's doing? Keep listening. Speak up in support of Van Horten. All of your complaints against us are a direct result of your capitalist and neoliberal systems. President Nines, please. What is this? President Nines smacked his gavel in vain as a shouting match broke out in the assembly. Finally, after a few minutes, the other Valxlandian delegates convinced Hegel to sit back down. I believe I don't need to speak any more about this subject. Everything is clear as day. Mr. Hegel's actions speak volumes about the reality of Valxland and their corrupted ideology. I hope to see this conflict resolved with the hope of the Alliance of Nations soon. He quickly left the podium and nodded to their Agnolian delegates. The two left the assembly hall. President Nines announced the next speaker, Emmerich Hegel. Hegel immediately took his place and spoke in a low, seething tone. Thank you. David, buckle up. It's the Chancellor's time now. It looks like you're having fun, Mr. President. First of all, I want to extend a due welcome to the new states from Rikia that have joined this organization. After fighting for years against colonialism and imperialism, they more than earned our membership vote. I am overjoyed to see them finally represented in this assembly. As our numbers grow and more states are represented in the stage, we come over closer to finding resolutions to the conflict that plagues us. For hundreds of years, the dominant economies of Makopa raised, pillaged, and exploited the contents of Rika and Zina. Sadly, Valixland was also part of this plunder in the years before the revolution, when it still clung to the idea of imperialism. But when our masses found their voice, the old colonial powers and their new finances turned against them. These powers did whatever they could to hamper our revolutions. They did not want the people to be heard. They are scared of us for showing the possibility of a better path. Of course, they don't want us to succeed. We threaten the productivity that runs on the blood and sweat of the working class. And now they have started labeling us aggressors. Yet, we all know it was the Arcasians who built up military bases all around Mercopa. It was the ATO that was the first form to fight against Malvanism. Honestly, he's completely right. He's exaggerating. Bullshit. Keep watching. Fuck commies. Do you think so? He is not entirely wrong. Helgeland was, is, and will be Valixlandian territory. Our intervention in the island is completely justified. Mr. Delegates brought up the Falenco and Ventry City treaties. However, they are forgetting about the Treaty of Constantium. Valixland exercises its right to intervene on behalf of our people who are being oppressed and massacred by the Agnolfian government just because they did not recognize an appointed governor. They didn't get to elect one. We acted in full accordance with the second article of the treaty. If there's a side to be blamed, it is the state, which murders its minorities while publicly supporting support of our nation. There were also claims about illegal missiles. No country in the world has the right to determine what type of weapons we import. If there's a conflict the Alliance can resolve, let's start with the Arcasian base in Ravnos Island. Lesbia has been housing Arcasian troops and missiles by our border for years, and none of the member states even talked about it. I also want the member states to look into the Arcasian bases in both Lesbia and Swordland. And if the Alliance of Nations truly claims to have the people's best interests at heart, they cannot stay silent about what the Angolian government did in Helgeland. How they took away the rights of our people. Perhaps then, there can be a proper dialogue between our nations, and the Alliance of Nations can finally demonstrate that it can serve its intended purpose. But unfortunately, the Alliance of Nations remains all too willing to overlook such human rights violations. However, the Valixlandian government is ready, as always, to fight the forces of oppression I'm the colonial subdued on behalf of free people everywhere. He raised his left fist. Errol within Vericose. Was that Swordish? Did I catch that right? He said the revolution will come. Yes, but it was in Old Valgish. Very similar to Swordish, right? Some words are even written the same way, but I'm surprised you caught that from his accent. Most of the delegates from Xena, Rika, and Cortana responded with thunderous applause. Hegel shook hands with them as he walked back to his seat. President Nines announced the next speaker, Queen Beatrice Livingston. Alright, quick squid break. Okay, and we are back. Dear President of the Assembly, dear delegates, dear leaders of the world, just as my fellow Eastern Mercopian delegates spoke about, the trouble is plaguing our continent. I also have to bring attention to the plight of the people of the North. The Alliance of Nations, the ATO, the CSP, and even the OMEC have never supported our people when they've been through tragic atrocities. Unlike many of the Western countries here, we never received financial aid when natural disasters struck our lands. The pain of our people was never recognized, nor even when they faced the threat of genocide by the hands of swords kings. In light of all that, I implore this nation to take a closer look at the actions of our southern neighbors. They took in traitors and gave them protection, Their president even went so far as to blame our country for spying on his administration, though his own private secretary, and he expects the world to believe his lies. Mr. President, point of order! That hag. I can't let her speak about us like that. Keep listening. Swordland closed their borders to innocent brutish people fleeing from being massacred by the Wessex forces. They even supported and cooperated with Wayland in their ethnic war against the brutish people. I hereby invite all of you to determine the initiation of a proper intergovernmental investigation into Swordland. If the Alliance continues to shirk its given duties, you can trust in Brumberg to take matters into her own hands. It is also important to point out that Brumberg will not stand idly by if more Arcasian military are transferred to eastern Malkopa. I hereby condemn both the ATO and Swordland for allowing Arcasia to settle in our region. Before I finish, I also want to say, Mr. Smolak, I'm looking forward to reading your report. I wonder what this so-called evidence is all about. Know that your slander does not work on us. Know that we are ready to die for our freedom. Know that our kingdom stands firm and strong. Expect a grand awakening. Thank you. Grand awakening. That was the worst speech I've ever heard. She left the roster without getting much applause. Then President Nine spoke my name. Mr. Anton Rain, President of Swordland, I invite you to address the assembly. David immediately started applauding. Good luck, Mr. President. I'll start ranting. I walked up to the rostrum and took my place at the podium. In front of me were some of the most powerful leaders in the entire world. I looked them in the eyes. Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow delegates, it is an honor to be here. Dear members of the Assembly, the representation of Swordland is pleased to address this Assembly. Anybody who ascends this rostrum must appreciate what significant gathering he is addressing. The speakers who have preceded me have expressed their concern about their problems. Swordland remains committed to the Alliance of Nations and the ideals that gave birth to it. I would like to stress the importance of these words. Alliance of Nations. Just as the speakers who preceded me, we too have our concerns to raise in this noble assembly. We must remain devoted to the dream of a peaceful and free world, a united world. Our century is the century of the struggle for freedom, the century of liberation from foreign occupation. Our people are still not free from fear, not free from poverty and starvation. Our world is faced with the dangers of division, the dangers of large military alliances and nuclear arms races. All right. Let me try and mesh that all together. Thank you, Mr. President, fellow delegates. Anybody who ascends this rostrum must appreciate what significant gathering he is addressing. We must remain devoted to the dream of a peaceful and free world, a united world. Our world is faced with the dangers of division, the dangers of large military alliances, and nuclear arms races. Now, it is more important than ever to set aside our differences and unite under this charter. It's time to ask the hard questions. Ask if this organization is achieving any of its aims. Today, we're confronted by a difficult choice. Our great achievements may either be used for the benefit or the detriment of mankind. Now, I'd like to address some of the topics mentioned here today. I will not respond to any of the comments made today. Instead, I want to talk about our responsibility as the Alliance of Nations. Rant, huh? Okay, let's go. Now, I'd like to address some of the topics mentioned here today. It was earlier claimed that Wayland was involved in a genocide. Such strong words shouldn't be spoken without proper evidence. We are deeply saddened by the tragic events that took place in Wayland. So come out in full support of the funny man, or just middling support of the funny man? I'm actually kind of leaning towards one because, like, they can claim there's proof, but I mean, on the other hand, we're not gonna help them have the proof. We just kept them from going into Swordland. It was earlier claimed that Wayland was involved in a genocide. Such strong words shouldn't be spoken without proper evidence. We will continue our cooperation with Wayland. Swordland stands together with the Wessex people. I have to admit, that operation resulted in many unnecessary deaths. Now we get with 3? Really? I also would like to extend my support to Mr. Manfortin. I also would like to address the Queen of Rumburg. Oh, who do we go after next? The Queen of Rumburg, eh? She talked about some hypothetical threat that our nation poses to Eastern Makopa, while Rumburg's military has tripled in the last decade. The real threat to Eastern Makopa has always been Rumburg. Today, it's still the case. Swordland always wanted to have peace between our nations, yet we are being threatened by Rumburg. We will never recognize your vile words against us. I condemn your actions and your speech. We wanted to be diplomatic, even when Rumburg shot down our plane. Oh shit, we get to bring up the plane? Well, you're both dead. But since we're all gamers, we're all dead. Yes, Shin is alive. He's still alive. Also, hello, Kran. Good to see you again. Also, Baron, Kran, Baron, Kran, Baron, Kran, Baron. Order. Order. Baron Cranberry. No, there will be no fusion dance in this stream. It's not allowed. At least, Saucilda hasn't shown up for a few streams. Good God. Actually, she was feeling sick a little while ago, and I was teasing her about being pregnant. It's kind of fucked up, though. I've never actually seen Steven Universe. Or SpongeBob SquarePants, or a lot of stuff. Anyway. Back to the game. I condemn your actions and your speech. I also have some evidence to show the assembly. Mr. Smolik was right about the KA-74s. Swordland only wanted peace, not baseless accusations and threats. If Rumberg continues this aggression, Swordland will be ready. Oh shit! We have the receipts. We have the receipts. I have the evidence to show the assembly. He was right about the K-74s. Rumberg has definitely been arming the BFF in Swordland. We discovered that many militant groups in Swordland were being financed or armed by Rumberg. There is another important piece of evidence that we have provided to us by someone close to the Rumbergian government. Oh, this is a spy. This is the spy. This is the spy we took in, isn't it? I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations to serve its duty. Rumberg and its links to rebel groups must be properly investigated. Hereby call on the nations to support Swordland. We are facing an existential threat. There is another important piece of evidence that we have provided to us by someone close to the Rumbergian government. Mr. Hailstone was branded as a traitor in Rumburg for blowing the whistle on the country's hidden nuclear facilities. According to our reports, Rumburg has been building its own nuclear weaponry. All right, so let's go back. Let's scroll back up to the top. Now, I'd like to address some of the topics mentioned here today. It was earlier claimed that Wayland was involved in a genocide. Such strong words shouldn't be spoken without proper evidence. I have to admit, that operation resulted in many unnecessary deaths. I also would like to address the Queen of Rumburg. She talked about some hypothetical threat that our nation poses to Eastern Makopa, while Rumburg's military has tripled in the last decade. I condemn your actions and your speech. I also have some evidence to show to the Assembly. Mr. Smolik was right about the KA-74s. Rumburg has definitively been arming BFF in Swordland. There is another important piece of evidence that we have provided to us by someone close to the Rumburgian government. Mr. Hailstone was branded as a traitor in Rumburg for blowing the whistle on the country's hidden nuclear facilities. I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations to serve its duty. Rumburg and its nuclear facilities must be properly investigated. I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations to support Swordland. We are facing an existential threat. Thank you for listening to our concerns. I wish to see a resolution from the end soon. Now, I'd like to bring my speech to a close. The end can no longer fail to recognize the machinations of the enemy of peace. We stand, and always will stand, for the rights of the people of Swordland and Eastern Makopa, just as those in other continents. If the right actions are not taken, it will be quite evident that international relations cannot continue on such basis. Long live the Alliance of Nations. Long live unity and peace. There cannot be any more procrastination or delay. The AN must adopt decisions according to the wishes of the people of the world. The people of Swordland and I are honored to have expressed our concerns before this noble assembly. Peace in Makopa, peace in the world. Magana Westcore. I walked down, speaking. David did not stop applauding until I sat down. Finally, it's over. Well, it was not a bad speech, but we still have to hear from the heavyweights before the session ends. President Nines announced the next speaker, Dwight Walker.
Mr. President, I first want to congratulate you on your election to the high office. As the Secretary, delegates to the United Nations, ladies and gentlemen, fellow friends, we meet again in our quest to bring peace and light into this world. But even then, some of the clouds have lifted, and the world has not yet escaped the darkness. A countenance occurred pact is rapidly expanding its influence. It is very troubling to see a democratic nation in Macopa be invaded by this malveneous powers. I refer, of course, to Helgeland's occupations by the Violate land. This is an attack against the lasting peace the world has enjoyed since the century of revolutions. Today, our peacekeeping obligations are being tested by United Cortana and the Moravian bloc. If we fail to counter and stop this threat, if we stay idle and allow them to build new walls and weapons of hostility, if the attackers do not face any consequences, then this unstable peace we believed we had will be built on the world's downfall, and the posterity will point its finger at us for not stopping it.
Emmerich Hegel and the other Valgslandian delegates started making noise again. This time, Hegel had taken off his shoe and was hanging on the table with it. Order! Order! Despite the noise Hegel made, President Walker continued his speech without pause.
Despite its claims that this peace action will only bring about war, we believe the United Cortana and Acacia, together with their allies, would come to an understanding for our mutual benefit and our desire to avoid the destruction of the world. Yet, United Cortana keeps acting in complete disregard to international law. The Allies are forcefully taking land and imposing their own values on the people of those lands. I will say this to the leaders of the United Cortana. If either of us is to be secure, we need a peaceful cooperation, not nuclear missiles. Show us our naval superiority or invasions. If the leaders of the United Cortana fail to demilitarize Helgeland with complete dismantling of nuclear missiles and the withdrawal of the occupying Valgslandian forces, the ATO will have to take matters into our own hands.
Hegel stood up with the shoe in his hand.
What is that supposed to mean? You're promoting war in the Alliance of Nations? Mr. President, this cannot...
Silence, please.
Mr. Chancellor, please let me finish. We did not interrupt you when you addressed the assembly. I must also raise my concerns about your site that the Rumba poses to Eastern Bacopa. The speakers who preceded me clearly showed that tensions are rising. The reports from Brigland and Swordland are troubling. The representatives from both countries referred to K-74 as being smuggled within their borders. Mr. Brigland also pointed out the construction of nuclear weaponry in Rumberg. Our intelligence also confirms this. Arcasia and the Igtio will stand against the aggression from Rumberg, and they are playing a dangerous game, one that may bring ruin to Makopa and their own lands. I believe the Alliance of Nations can find resolution to the conflict as well. If not, let it be known that Arcasia will stand together with Swordland, Rumberg, cannot do as it pleases.
That's great news. I hope he means it. Nice. Do you think Rumberg can pursue any more aggression after that statement?
Finally, I propose the Alliance of Nations undertake the noble cause of helping the people of the world through rewriting and properly enforcing its human rights declaration. The Alliance of Nations cannot survive as a statistic organization. Its size and duties are increasing enormously. It should adapt to the changing world. But peace and rights do not rest in the hands of this organization alone. They rely on the hearts of our people and the spirit of cooperation between our nations. So, let it be known, my fellow inhabitants of this world, let us take our stand and see if we can finally achieve a lasting peace. Thank you.
Most of the assembly applauded his speech, the ATO delegates in particular. The applause continued for some time. Walker shook hands with the various delegates on his way back to his seat. President Nines announced the last speaker before the break. It was Leon Melanev. Rustam is in a kind of suit. All the CSP delegates stood up and applauded him. What? Oh. Sorry, it's just Windows freaking out. Honorable Chairman and fellow delegates to the Alliance of Nations. Wait, Shin's streaming? You're lying, right? Baron, we might have to hold off. We might have to hold off until tomorrow if Shin's streaming. I have obligations, you know. Okay. God damn it. This is why we can't have nice things. The man disappears for how long, and then, like, I'm trying to finish Suzerain? Alright. Alright. Sorry for making this little scuffed, but yeah. I'm gonna go shitpost Shin stream. Unfortunately, I don't think I can redirect, but yeah. Just look up Shinichi Animations. I'm gonna go shitpost his chat. I'll see y'all out there and take her easy. Whatever you do.